Can restorative yoga be pacifying for all the doshas? Well, it will be today. This restorative yoga class will focus on slowing down and relieving anxiety for Vata dosha with restorative yoga postures that help relieve the constipation, the gas and bloating that's common for Vata doshas during seasonal transitions. We'll also focus on calming and cooling and reminding Pitta doshas that self-care and relaxation are productive. I know Pitta doshas can be ambitious, and this time to take care of yourself and cool down and relax is just as productive as all the other things in your day. And while restorative yoga is not necessarily the best style of yoga for Kapha doshas, we will keep them moving in between the restorative yoga postures, and also we will focus on restorative yoga postures that are opening for their chests to help relieve the accumulation of mucus in their chests and up into their respiratory system as we move into the winter season. Today we are at beautiful Chinese cemetery, and hopefully you have done a better job of gathering your props than I have from my home to here. So I only remembered to bring a blanket and 2 blocks, but get all your props out. If you have a bolster, that would be fabulous. I'm going to show you how you can use a blanket instead of a bolster if you don't have a bolster today. We're going to begin in reclined butterfly pose. This pose is going to be great for Kapha dosha because it opens up the chest. It's very calming and cooling for Pitta dosha. It helps to release the pent-up emotions that can gather in and around the second chakra. So for this one, you're going to place your bolster lengthwise along your chest. And if you have some extra pillows and things, then I think it would be great to prop it. That is to lift it so that it's even more opening. Of course, I'm somewhat limited in what I have here, but do what you can with what you have. So soles of your feet together, the blocks support your knees where they open to, and then you're going to rest back with your chest open. Vata dosha will focus on being very slow and still and sinking into the earth here. Restorative yoga is the perfect style for Vata doshas. It allows Vata dosha to slow down and release the excess energy from anxiety. Staying close to the ground and well propped in a restorative yoga class is incredibly grounding for Vata dosha, and it helps for them to come out of their minds and into their bodies. The long resting holds in the restorative poses creates stillness and gives Vata dosha time to just be and rest. Vata dosha tends to be most prone to digestive issues and gas, particularly during seasonal transitions, and poses that compress and lengthen the large intestine in restorative yoga classes can be particularly pacifying for Vata dosha. Okay, so we're going to slowly gather ourselves up, roll to your side, and we're going to make our way into the second pose. So you'll take your bolster and you'll put it lengthwise on your mat, and pittas and vatas, you're going to come into child's pose. And if you have any knee issues, you could lie on your back with your knees to your chest and put your feet against the wall so you don't have to hold your legs there the whole time. And if you don't, you can do child's pose. So we'll come into the pose. And I'm just going to start the timer so that I don't keep you there forever. Yep. Okay, so Kapha doshas, we're going to not start in the pose right away. We're going to do a little bit of movement before coming into the pose. So you're going to exhale round through your back and you're going to inhale open. So we get some movement into the chest and keep moving. You could do this sitting on a chair if it's too much. And then we'll go to one side and the other. And then we're just going to rotate. And just do that whole thing again. So you're going to round and open, round and open. And one side to the other. And twist. And then everybody can come into the child's pose. So this pose is really great because it restores the adrenals. It's useful for pitta dosha and vata dosha because it signals to the nervous system to rest, and it allows the tension of pitta dosha to unwind, and it's very grounding for vata dosha. So restorative yoga is also the perfect style of yoga for driven and ambitious pitta doshas. The fire in the belly of pitta dosha means that they are organized and determined. Pitta dosha benefits from restorative yoga practices because it allows them to chill out and relax and let go of their ambitions. So with restorative yoga, pitta doshas can learn that rest and self-care are productive. The effort in a restorative yoga class is to let go of tension and focus on letting go of effort. Letting go, relaxing, chilling out in a restorative yoga class can help pitta dosha to alleviate anger, but also some of the physical manifestations including acne, heartburn, acid reflux, and even more serious issues like heart attacks and even the risk of strokes. Okay, so slowly make your way out of this pose. And we're going to set ourselves up for supported shoulder stand. If you have a bolster, what you're going to do is take a setup like this actually. Put 2 blocks and a blanket like this and then have a bolster as well. So you put your bolster here like this, and then you'll lie down on top of it. Your head, your body, your legs will be here, your torso and your shoulders will be on the bolster, and your head and your shoulders will be off the bolster. So those of you who've done my classes before will know that setup. If you and we also do it where you tie a strap around your legs so it keeps your legs up on this. Now, I don't have all that today, so I'm going to do a different setup, which will create a similar result, which is we're going to put the blanket here. My shoulders will go on this part, and then my feet are going to go up here on the blocks. And so we'll get a smaller inversion, but still an inversion. So this supported shoulder stand is tridoshic because it opens up the chest for kapha dosha. It lengthens the colon for vata dosha, and it's calming for pitta dosha. Now, restorative yoga is probably the least effective for kapha dosha because kapha dosha needs practices that are stimulating and which will help them let go of attachments. And it's easy for kapha dosha to become stuck physically, mentally, and emotionally. So getting moving is incredibly important for kapha dosha. Now, kaphas have wonderful memories and they rarely forget. So kapha yoga practices should be dynamic and flowing. It should focus particularly on opening up their chests where mucus can accumulate. Okay, so begin to wiggle and stretch out. We're going to come into our last restorative pose. So for this one, you're going to need to take your bolster to the right side of your mat. You can put your blocks off to the side. And you're going to just lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Okay, so you're on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. You're going to press into your feet, lift your hips, take them over to the right side of your mat, and lower your knees onto your bolster so you're in the reclined twist. Okay, so this pose is Tridoshik. It is great for kaphas because it is definitely chest opening. It is great for pittas because any poses that get into the center actually helps to release heat from the center for pittas. And it's also great for vatas because it's so good for their digestive system. So another great Tridoshik pose here. Okay, so we're going to come out of this side, take your feet back to the center, press into your feet and untuck your hips. Just give your spine a chance to unravel here in the center.
Sounds like a whale watching boat coming back. Okay, and then we're going to do the other side. So this time you're going to press into your feet, lift your hips, take them over to the left side of your mat, and then drop your knees over to the right side of your mat. Okay, so let's come back to the center. Untuck your hips. And let your spine unravel. And we'll come into Shavasana. So Kaphas, let's do this so that your chest is opening. You can use your blocks for this. Kaphas, you can use 2 blocks, one high and one low, so that you're doing this in a chest opening position. Pittas, you can lie on your backs. And Kaphas, you can lie on your bellies with a blanket underneath your belly. So you can take a blanket and place it underneath your belly. So continue to rest in your version of Shavasana for your dosha, and I have a poem for you by Mary Oliver to close out today called When I Am Among Trees. When I am among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locust, equally the beech, the oaks, and the pines, they give up such hints of gladness. I would almost say that they save me and daily. I am so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness and discernment, and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me the trees stir in their leaves and call out, "Stay a while." The light flows from their branches, and they call again. It's simple, they say. And you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light, and to shine. So gradually allow your breath to deepen, and you can wiggle and stretch out. Bend your knees and roll to your side, or push up onto all fours if you're Vata dosha. And you can make your way up to a seated position so we can gather the fruits of our practice in first to ourselves and offer them out into the world with our mantra to finish. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life in some way create happiness and freedom for all. So thanks so much for joining us for this restorative yoga class to balance your doshas. If you made it all the way to the end, be sure to give yourself a thumbs up. And if you'd like support in balancing your doshas in September, then in our membership community, we are doing a 30-day challenge, an Ayurvedic morning routine every day of this month. So we would love to have you join us. I know our members are super looking forward to it. And we've already got a lot of members committed to joining us for that challenge, so we'd love to have you join us that. If you made it all the way to the end, to put in the comments, what are we going to have you put in the comments? Restorative yoga balances my doshas. Thank you so much for your donations. Donna, Sean, Anne-Marie, Leah, Paige, Carla, Donna, and Cornelia. Thanks to Squeeze Yoga Clothing for my clothes. I was talking to Donna yesterday, and she said she was thinking about doing a sale over Labor Day weekend. So that's this weekend. So maybe keep an eye open for that. And if you've fallen off your yoga mat over the break, maybe the summer break, then I've got a treat for you. I've got a back to yoga, how to get back to yoga. If you go to melissawest.com, back to yoga, I'll send you 8 days of how to get back to yoga. And I'll send that right to your inbox. So I'm sending you much love from beautiful British Columbia, windy. May your joy be as deep as the Pacific Ocean. May you be as grounded as the trees in our forest. And may you be as strong as our mountains. Om Shanti. Namaste.